Live, everybody. Right back here at the Meade County Fair. Dave, Gary, what were you saying? We got a special guest tonight, Magistrate of the 4th District.
Gary Chapman.
Well, I was just remembering when I used to tell my dad, I'd say, Dad, that's not fair. He'd say, son, fair is an event that comes to town once a year with the merry-go-round, and this ain't it.
And if you're looking for fair, that's where you go.
You're going to have to wait till July, son.
But that was a very, it was a very, it was a good statement.
It's a very true statement, that's for sure.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Gary, what's going on in the Magistrate of the 4th District? Y'all been moving and shaking a lot lately. Troy's got y'all jumping and cracking and smacking.
We've got several things we're working on.
Yeah.
As the county grows, we got to grow our animal shelter. We got to grow a lot of different things, and
definitely got to fix the animal shelter. Y'all been kind of involved in that. Have you been tracking that?
Yeah.
We've actually got an ordinance redone, ready to with the county attorney to take a look at, and then hopefully y'all get to do a reading of it. And Dave is back. David Pace. Here he is.
Pace.
Friday night at the fair.
Mr. Fair himself.
100 degrees, we're shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Woo, steamy.
Yeah. Well, I think I said earlier in the week, I think we need another booth now. We'll just keep buying booths until...
We'll do lounge chairs next time. We'll do lounge chairs, Dave.
I'm going to scoot forward so I'm not right in front of the fan for
there you go.
all.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's all right.
It's been a hot day.
Yes, sir.
Busy day.
Big night tonight.
Good crowd starting. I think you'll see the people roll in a little later.
Yeah, because of the weather.
Just waiting for the temperature to kind of let the sun get down a little bit, because it was still warm last night at about 11:30. We had probably one of the best demolition derbies we've ever had. It was,
wow.
The one we rained out last year was here last night. So
wow.
Yeah, I actually got to go watch a little bit last night. I went down and sat with Gary for a little bit, and one of the things, as Gary, I was getting frustrated. It's like when that first full size car heat started, it felt like like they were just herding cows in a corral. It's like nobody was really hitting each other or anything. It took quite a while, but once it did, it was like the action started exploding.
Have you ever watched a wolf on its prey?
Oh yeah,
just prowl around, then you attack. So
that's right. That's right.
The best part of that next to last heat, it came down to two brothers. That's what was left. And the one caught the one in a vulnerable spot, broke his front wheel off, pushed him into the corner. He backs beside him, pulls right up beside him, reaches out of the car, grabs his brother's flag, and bends it down. Well, the crowd went berserk.
That is awesome.
I've never seen that in 30 years, so it was really neat. So.
That's awesome.
Hey, we've had a lot of viewers. You guys have been reposting this on the fair site, too. So I've been tagging you guys every night. But we've had so much feedback about this podcast. And a lot of people will watch it, and they want to just know what's going on and hear your commentary, actually. So you're kind of the hero of the show this week.
Well, it's like I told y'all, it's been enjoyable. The first time y'all asked me to be on, I was a nervous wreck going out to Steve's house and all. You got to watch greasy-haired Texans when you go out there like that. So, and it worked out really well, and it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it, and about 2 weeks ago, I found where the fair ones were before, and I said it kind of reminisced about why. That's why we try to highlight some of that.
Yeah, sure.
I think one of the highlights of last night, we kind of talk about that each night, was the flyover.
Yeah.
It's going to happen again tonight at 7, and we're trying to make the timing.
With the anthem.
We're going to get the prayer done, but I'm hoping, because we've got Lily King Flaherty is going to sing the national anthem.
Very good.
Gary's granddaughter's sang it on Monday.
Okay.
So we're hoping that timing is going to be that the flyover is just about the same time as.
So it's interesting that you say that because, formerly when I was in the Army, I had the U.S. Army Golden Knights. Okay. And we at a time, our flight pattern, not me, they did, but they always had to, and I was in a plane one time when we did it, they had a time there with the NFL and all that other stuff because they would jump into the stadium. Of course, you'd never see that on national television, but everybody in the stand saw it, and they would be coming in, and it would be timed perfectly. And usually there's a flyby with the Air Force, and then they come in with the flag. It's really kind of cool.
This last night was they came on Wednesday. They've been here Thursday. Now
Wow.
they're here Friday. This is the last night, and last night was just. They said, "You care if we fly over?" And I said,
That's awesome.
Perfect idea. And I said, I said, only thing, just don't blow the dust in the arena. So really, we had it wet down. They probably wouldn't have been, but I've been here each time they've come in.
Yeah.
I had no idea that kind of thrust off of that.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So
That's the United States Army Army Reserve Aviation Command. Troy actually commanded that unit a long time ago.
got their numbers, names, everything.
Go
It's really
say it,
good,
yeah.
so.
But they do a great job. It's probably one of the largest inventories for the Army Reserve for their aviation. But they've also got some other stealthy type of aircraft over there too. But it's just a great deal to get them out here for the whole week, and especially if you get that flyover timed right. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a big deal. You want to talk about getting some going in the heart and the bloodstream.
They were right after it last night, but it still worked. I mean,
Yeah.
the flyover and just trying to time and you know, the prep takeoff is the big thing for them to get in line to
Sure.
go over. They'll make a couple of passes, and they asked how I won. I said, look, you're flying that, not me.
Yeah.
Just make it go over is what I want. So
Get the crowd up and screaming. Yeah, they do pretty good.
it was actually a very good night last night for the fair. We were not as high as we thought. We were about somewhere around 6,000 people, something in that neighborhood. As hot as it is, a lot of people don't come out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been treacherous today. We had several issues to work on this morning, and it's just been. I mean, you go out. I mean, this is shirt number 3 for the day. So you know, and I'm not a sweater, but I am right now.
I hear
it's
ya.
just a lot going on.
So I mean, it's like a day like today. You know, a lot of times you're worried about the track getting too wet, but does it get too dry? It can get too dry for a pool, right?
We have probably, I'm trying to guess right now what I've seen go on the track are somewhere in the 3,000 to 4,000 gallons of water on
Yeah.
it already.
And there you have it, Gary. The new water problem in the county, all caused by. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing, David. I'm teasing.
David, don't say that. David said no.
I just had it busted out. I mean, I was like, we
they
could-
use
Good thing for Gary, it's in the city.
They use water. They use water they catch in rain barrels.
No, I'm just teasing. Yeah, that's it. That's a great
That's a
answer.
lot of rain
You know,
barrels.
as I look out across the way, I see our county judge executive talking to some other military personnel, and if I understand correctly, Troy was a pilot when
He was. Yeah, he still is. He
Black-
never stopped being one.
Yeah,
Well, he
okay.
doesn't fly, but he still has his
pilot.
credentials, I'm sure. But yeah, he actually flew. If you've ever been to Troy's house, he's got a lot of memorabilia about his aviation days and
That's
stuff.
why
too.
you can't touch that helicopter in his office.
That's right.
That's right. Oh yeah.
You can't twirl the rotor blades. It's-
Now that is pretty interesting you say that, because if you go to his office, I mean, obviously that's a public place, but he does have a lot of his through the years
He does.
of memorabilia to just kind of see the journey of what it takes to become a general officer, and I think it's pretty neat. But him aside, he's been out here every day of the week too. I mean, a lot of people have been coming out regardless of the heat, though. I think.
Yes.
What do you think your total numbers will be by the time we get to the end? Do you think we'll hit the 40K or above?
I'm hoping for 35.
Okay.
You know, if we can get 38, that would be a good week for us,
Okay.
as hot as it is. With Monday rain, even though we were really close on setting a little bit of a above, we kind of just compared to last year. With Tuesday being so bad, we jumped way up.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday we made that up on being about 4,000 people on Tuesday. And then Wednesday stayed pretty steady. Last night was up a little bit, but it wasn't a record by any means. But, you know, I think a lot of people have held off waiting for tonight, Friday night.
I think
There
so.
you go.
Get
I mean,
to, and
we're here at the weekend. You know, you got the whole weekend. You can stay out and watch the truck and tractor pull, which tonight's the big dogs are here, right? It's the NTPA's here, and so I think that that's why I think you're right. A lot of people waiting for the weekend. They saved up their money. I mean, you got to remember, there's not as there's still people are out there struggling, with food costs and things like that. So, the fair is
That was a radio call.
Yep, the fair is coming in. People want to come, and they're going to come, but they may not come as often when the prices are up and the inflation's the way it is. So,
So Gary, you've been out here. How many of the grandkids have been out here?
all 4 of them.
All right.
Yeah, all 4 of them. And they of course, at that age, they like to ride the rides.
Yeah.
And,
Sorry about that.
How about you? Did you ride the rides?
Oh
with
no,
them?
oh no, I haven't ridden rides for a number of years.
Oh no, not even the Jurassic ride with the little four-wheeler.
No.
Oh
I can't do anything roundy.
no.
Now Gay over there, just a few short years ago,
Oh yeah.
she would ride every ride out there with S.L. Blair. S.L. Blair's passed away now, but he was fairly elderly when they would do that. But they would ride every ride on the
Wave
big
at the camera, Gay. Wave at the camera. She's on to camera. Say hi. Yeah. Your husband said that you rode the rides with the kids. There you go. She says she used to ride every ride. That's funny.
SL rode till the year he died.
Yeah.
So he told me that one. I've told y'all this story. He said, came over there, gave me the thumbs up. Every year he was my test pilot, so he'd go ride the rides. He came over there and he went thumbs up. I said, "What about that new ride?" He said, "I knew it was a good one when my wallet went flying by my face." So,
That's a good feedback.
It's all about the G's.
All right, so what food have you not eaten yet since you've been here?
Talking to me?
No, I'm talking to David, yeah. I'll get you next, Gary.
probably the school pizza is the only one I think I
the school
haven't
pizza.
eaten.
Kids, my
That's
kids
all right.
had it the other.
Kathy's picked up your slack on that, so that's our favorite thing here. So every night it's like, hey, bring me some school pizza home with you. And Kathy can't be here every night because she's working so hard these days. But
We try our best to buy lunch from everybody that's open that day.
Yeah.
And we started with fried bologna, worked our way to pork chops today. And
That's what I'm doing today. I think I'm on the same beat you are.
yeah,
it's really good. I mean, I think the ribeyes, the brisket. I mean, I've been through them all. So
Sure.
So a whole lot going on. So
Yeah. So
how about you, Gary?
Well, the other night, I got a pork chop sandwich, and there was 2 pork chops on it.
you got lucky.
You know, I don't know if they just saw me
Gary walk. Oh, okay, that's what it was.
It's Gary.
Yeah.
Slide an extra
Uh-huh.
pork chop
So I
on
put
there.
another pork chop on there.
Just remind them that they voted for you. That's all they was trying to do.
yeah.
I hear you. So what's big in the courthouse? You guys got fiscal court coming up again in 2 weeks.
We do. Of course, they're busy putting Troy and his staff busy putting the agenda together right now. And,
Sure.
And they'll send that out to us in time that we can look at it. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I know that
on both sled.
we've got several ordinances that we have been working on.
I know you have. Y'all have had several readings, and you reduced a number of old ones and just got rid of some and rewrote so that it catch-all, so it kind of like makes it easier to read and understand.
One other thing that, along those lines is our county attorney, Sidney Durham,
Yeah.
is in the process of, I don't know if I can say this word,
Digitizing.
digitizing, all that stuff.
Right.
So it's easy. You can just,
Look it up online.
index it, and because now you go to look up an old ordinance.
Oh, I know it. I've seen them because I've been
You
working.
got to go to the books.
So I've been working very diligently with the animal control as the chairman of that board, and Cheryl Whalen as well as the vice chair. And we just redid the animal control ordinance to get it back in front of you guys because it needed some love. But it had lines through it and initials that y'all voted on it and it was approved, but it was never retyped up. And so we helped retype it and put some things in there to consider. And Sydney's looking over it. Now the animal control officers will be able to do their job. And I think y'all just voted for for a director, somebody to direct the activities in the animal control too. So
Yeah, those we had 2 animal control officers, and they're doing a great job.
sure.
But as the county grows and the need for more oversight and,
Sure.
and care for the animals, we just grew into a new position.
Absolutely.
And so I think we just recently hired the person, and they'll be hitting the ground running pretty soon. And so we're excited about that. And we're also looking in the future for maybe building a new animal shelter.
That's right.
You know,
We're helping y'all with that.
yeah.
I mean, that goes along with what we've been talking about all week with, you've got to plan.
Long
You
term.
plan for the future, and you have to start putting infrastructure together for the future. And a new animal shelter, you got to figure there's going to be a population growth, there's going to be more pets, there's going to be more animals, things like that.
So interesting thing, Dave, we learned was that animal control officers only responsible for 2 things in the county: dogs and livestock. If they get out in the road, it's the animal control officer's job to get after and picking up livestock and herding them back. And so
That
all
would
these
be a big job.
it is a big job. So we're trying.
There's a lot of big livestock in this county.
So I was laughing because it made me think of again Andy Griffith in the days when they were trying to get a cow across the road and Barney's trying to move him along. But anyway, so back to the fair. I know you're getting all these calls, so hopefully everything's running smooth, operator, while you're over here having some FaceTime on the TV here.
If it had been too bad, I'd already had to leave. So we're doing
good.
okay.
So what do you think of all the changes that are happening? And you've been involved in the granary too, haven't you, a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, so how are we looking in infrastructure development and stuff from your perspective and your many other hats that you wear?
Well, the one thing that's going on with it, the company that we were really kind of putting our eggs in one basket with has decided they didn't want to be in charge of construction.
Sure.
And so that's kind of stymied us a little bit. Well, Gary was one of the members that got to travel. We went to a granary, actually to a port in Owensboro, and visited with a new company, and that company's doing their due diligence work. We provided them with the feasibility study that paid for by the county that said we need one. But when we got down there and saw all that was going on in that port, that made us kind of rethink the possibilities of what this could be. And
sure.
Let me break in there, Dave. One of the interesting things we saw down there was not only did they offload
grain
or whatever,
fertilize
grain, whatever, but they also went they went both ways.
Yeah, instead of just being outbound, they're an inbound port also. And we saw two competitors side by side.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference in the world to me.
I got goosebumps thinking about what that could do for our county and our neighbors across the river.
And that's the exciting part for Gary. Gary's on the committee, Billy Sipes, the judge, all of us. We've been working on this nonstop, to be honest. And
sure.
The thing about it that we like the best, this offers a lot more possibilities. And Harrison County has been a solid player with us at this. Whatever the cost is, the county of Meade is only going to be on the hook for 50%.
Yeah.
And that hasn't wavered from either side. And I think we're all just stymied the fact we aren't already in construction.
And the future of Meade County and Harrison County looks bright.
Oh, I mean, it
farming.
was bright just for the grain side, but a port is just unreal what the possibilities. And like we started saying about Owensboro, two competitor companies. One was on this side, one was on that side, and the trucks were lined up buying the same product. So if you build it, they'll come. You know, that's the scenario. And we think it gives us multiple opportunities for other stuff that could be there. And, you know, we're really excited. We're close. Are we close enough? No, not to really say a lot more than what we already have. But
train's on the track and it's moving down the rail.
Well, we hope it's going to be, we're almost pulling into the station right at the moment. So
that's good.
How about,
I was going to say, one of the things you see now a lot in industry and economic development is regionalization. So, for economies of scale, it just makes sense that you widen your scope a little bit, involve more people, more communities.
Makes sense.
And it lightens the load on everybody. And like David said, Harrison County, Indiana has been an excellent partner.
Outstanding.
That's awesome.
There's
do we
no
know
time
exactly
missed
where
that we haven't worked on it.
Where exactly is it compared to, say, the bridge? Do we know? Is it downstream, upstream? Where's it?
Downstream. It's actually almost in the town of Mockport.
Okay, so
it's before you get to the Whales, but it's after the bridge. I mean, you go over, you're looking right at it.
We told you we'd have to shoot you.
Yeah.
Told you. Okay.
I just needed some general location.
But the good thing,
it's in Indiana, is what you're saying.
One of the good things. Wait a minute. One of the good things is Kentucky owns up to what
the high water mark.
High water mark on the Indiana side.
Yep.
So the dolphins and the what do they call those?
The leg, all that'll be in Kentucky water.
Right.
So
I mean, that all came up when the riverboats came, right?
Yes.
That was we had to give them. I guess legally, Kentucky ended up giving them right away so they can actually operate.
But that they were going to be parked in the water full time, yes.
Yeah. Interesting. So how does that change the landscape when let's say we get to building and we're up and running. How does that change the landscape for downtown Brandenburg on our side and ability to grow that area and region and our growth and economy there?
We talk about Meade County. when you talk about we've got the largest amount of miles of riverfront,
Right.
Yep.
56 miles of riverfront in Meade County. About 50 of it is bluff.
Yep.
There's very minimal that's developable ground along the water that's really, unless somebody's already got residential developments of homes and campsites, things like that, floodplain issues. So we have to be very strategic on how we place near waterfront. But I think if this port facility can come in, you're going to see both sides of the river prosper from this in southern Harrison County and Meade County. With 135 to 64 or 313 to 65 is just putting us right in the middle, to be honest. And we've got a lot of companies that are still looking to be suppliers or taking money or taking product away from our companies that are here now.
Wow. That's awesome. So,
Is there? Do we know if there's a how much? If there's any discussion on like, what's the future of the bridge? I mean, are they even talking about, hey, is it going to need to expand at some point, or
Well,
has anybody talked much about that?
If you noticed, about 2 years ago, there was work done. We went through the bridge and made sure it was up to state. We worked. There was closing of the one lane for several months. We weren't like Sherman Minton, thank goodness, but it was a lot of work went into it. There's been I'm not going to say discussions. There's been talk about how could we make this 4-lane if it comes to that. If we ever increase the bypass to different, or if I teasingly said that. Somebody said, where is the development going to be? And I said, Ring Road. Well, that caught fire, and I said, oh, I was just teasing on that. But everybody thought for sure we were going to build a new bypass around the bypass. But, but the thing is, the tie-in is going to be where the growth needs to be. And the unfortunate part right now, a lot of the truck traffic on our bypass, as we know it, is going down, but there's still a lot of truck traffic going to be on our traffic. And if we hadn't had a 5-lane bypass previous to this, it would have been terrible, I think. So
absolutely,
we did do a few things right in the past. So we're still working on them.
Don't disagree with that.
I wish it was 5 lanes all the way to E-Town, but that's another story for another day.
Well, you're all the way to 1600 now with 4-lane, but we're working on it. It's already been kind of thrown out there to try to get it to US 60.
Nice.
So I told him, I said, I want to start in Brandenburg and go to 60. That way, they'll tie the middle together, but I'm worried about the end. That's where you try to make it work. But we've got a lot of going on with the Industrial Authority, and we have a good group that's on our board, and a lot of recruitment going on with things. And we're working a lot of restaurants right at the moment.
Good.
So, it's just hard with our numbers till we get the new traffic counts in to justify the count. Because we're on 2020, I think, are the last census numbers on the road. So we're trying our best to get updated numbers to show that amount of traffic that's in Brandenburg right now.
I know. I know this is kind of off-fair topic and such for our first segment here, but we're talking about 313 and such. And I know a lot of the talk during the town hall meetings were centered around people speeding out there, and some of the but really and truly, I think the biggest issue is still people that just cross without stopping. I still see that today, where they're just crossing the road without stopping across. I think I don't know how you fix that.
That's nothing you can. And I know Gary has seen some of these numbers, but we've been working on trying to fix Bridgepoint Plaza, where the intersections at Sicilian Bank and all that. So that
we talked about that with Mayor Claycomb yesterday.
Mayor Claycomb had some talk about. Well, we were talking about the potholes and stuff behind it.
But that's actually underway. We've got that almost fixed, and with maybe another outlet and things like that to go forward. And I mean, some of that we're hoping
Shameless plug.
is we're going to go forward. But the study showed that if you had issues within the intersections, 70% of the bypass accidents are at the intersection.
Yeah.
And it's inattention. And it's people that are distracted. And that's where they say that that's almost an unsolvable problem because you can't make people pay attention.
No.
What we
I was
could
on my way here, and I wish I had my I have a phone in my truck that I can turn on and record. I didn't have it on recording, but I was coming up 79 to Brandenburg, and there was the lady's full her full car seat or driver's seat was in my lane, and I was like, okay, she edged over, but when I went by her, she was looking down the whole way. I'm like,
get off your phone.
yeah,
Get off your phone.
it's like, I get it. You
I don't
make a
get
touch
that.
or whatever, but
Her half was just in the middle.
yes, it absolutely was.
I
today.
always joke when we talk about that these lights. There's the one light before you turn left to go into Miguel's, or you turn right to go into Brandenburg, and that light, when the wind gets it, that thing's doing this right here. I'm like, y'all better have a safety line hooked to that. I want the bottom wire. Just somebody run a bottom wire across so it doesn't rock like that. It freaks me
Yeah.
out. I just want
One of
to.
the storms, it did go a quarter. It looked like the green light was the other roadway,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
it was really confusing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that you're right. The infrastructure has been laid on early enough to look at those future plans, but I kind of want to know what's going to happen here tomorrow.
Well, let me see.
I'm changing us out of this subject and
I was
talking
gonna say,
about the fair.
I was sort of thinking, okay, we've gone way down this rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
I gotta get
But
back
thank
on
you
the
for-
road
thank you
because
for
when
going
you
with
come
us.
before the bridge, there's a fair on the right-hand side
yeah.
that's going on this week.
If you get out and you are tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we start off with our pet and dog show.
Okay.
Then it's a full morning of just multiple events, and you won't realize how many people show up for this. And we've got pedal pull all the way for adults, and these tractors are the slickest things you ever get on. Then we've got a battery-powered pool, and then we'll go from that. We've got a baby contest in the community building. Then it goes back into the building. This buildings are open 3 to 6 instead of 5
Right.
to 9.
Right.
And then we have their drawings. Anybody wants to do a drawing, we have that. And then we go switch back to a precious little Mr. and Miss up there. Then
Right.
we have our little Mr. and Miss. And then we come back down here to the NTPA tractor pool again.
Wow.
Trucker
Night
tractor
two.
pool.
Night
Night,
two.
night 2 of the NTA.
And you both will be able to hear these at your homes.
Yes.
Oh, I believe it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I believe it.
I used to live on Mobley Road, and we could hear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I'm
And
down by.
that's off Buck Grove for anybody that doesn't know where Mobley Road is.
I'm down
so.
by Old Ski Farm where Field of
Yeah.
Screams is. So I don't know. You think I'll hear it all the way
Oh
down
yeah,
there?
I mean Mobley Road is just a couple
Yeah,
miles from
alright.
you, so
You won't even have to be outside.
All right, I believe it.
We would lay there in our bed, Kathy and I, at like midnight, and you could still hear it rumbling.
I know. I was looking for
town.
my NASCAR headsets for the kids because they're coming out tonight because they're going to need them.
Yeah.
The four-wheel drives aren't quite as bad as the two-wheel drives, but they're loud.
Oh,
and
I
if
bet.
you're coming, we have earplugs that we have a container. They're free for anybody that wants to come get them.
Awesome.
And that way you can go forward. We did have a couple of people last night got a little overheated, but I want to thank our emergency service, not just the EMS, but the police and dispatch here. We have our own command center on site with our own dispatcher
Love that.
works over all of it that keeps us just coordinated for ourselves. So, that works out really good for us to be able to do that.
That is a nice air-conditioned facility too.
Correct. Restrooms, everything's there, what they need. So,
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, what's
Because-
the big thing you need to say about the fair tonight? Come on
it's
out.
warm. I think you can come out and have a great time once the sun kind of settles. I think it's going to be one of the best fair nights we've had. It's going to be comfortable. It's not something that's going to be where you're sitting around not in good shape.
I'd say it's definitely
it's
a little cooler tonight than it was yesterday. Yesterday was pretty warm.
It's been hot all day, but I think you're going to see tonight's going to be a lot better. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if you're doing tomorrow or not, but again, I want to thank you all for this all
Say
week
hi,
long.
Dave.
So,
We're going to do a 4 o'clock tomorrow
4
afternoon.
o'clock. Okay,
Yep.
if you need me, give me a shout. But I do appreciate all the hospitality all week, and sorry
Well,
I've had
we
to
appreciate
jump
you.
in and out some. So,
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Gary. Everybody, come out to the Meade County Fair tonight. NTPA Tractor Pool is starting at, I think we're going to kick off around 7:30. And if you get out here early enough, you're going to see during the national anthem, you're going to see a flyover of a Black Hawk helicopter from Fort Knox. So that would be it's an awesome thing to see. The power of these military aircraft are just insane. So come on out and spend some time with us.
Good night, everybody.
Good
We'll be
night.
back.